has been called the gentleman's gentleman, a lotus in cricket's contaminated pond. He truly defines the game of cricket. Rahul Dravid hung up his boots last night, leaving behind a great legacy. We have the man of the moment with us. Rahul, thank you very, very much for talking to us.
Pleasure.
Well, it was an inspired performance by the Rajasthan Royals in the finals of Champions League T20. A red carpet rolled out for you. One of the most memorable moments for you on the cricket field?
Yeah, I think the whole journey has been very memorable because it's something that's almost started, I'd say 3 years ago when I joined the Royals, and especially the last couple of years since I took over as captain. Just the whole process of building a team and you know, working in an environment in which you are slightly disadvantaged, but knowing that you've got good people around you and trying to create a good culture, a good team, you know, working with a lot of young kids. And I thought yesterday night was a great culmination of that in some ways, even though we didn't get the right result. But to just see, you know, Praveen Tambe bowl when we bowled, and for him to see the way he's bowled in this tournament, and then to see that partnership between Sanju Samson and Ajinkya Rahane, sort of typifies what the Rajasthan Royals is about. You know, it's about recognizing potential in players that possibly haven't, you know, yet been seen, giving them the platform and giving them this environment around which they can perform. And so that was brilliant, and I think the whole campaign has been excellent. And sort of yesterday was a good night. I mean, you know, even though we lost, I thought there was a lot of good things, not least you know, the lovely reception that I got from both teams and the lovely Delhi crowd. So something I'll always cherish. And but yeah, it's been a good journey.
Rahul, there were millions watching on the TV your last game, and many thousands turned up at the stadium. Rahul Dravid batted at number 8, something you've never done in your career.
Yeah, well, if you're chasing 200, then you know that's what the team requires. We had obviously, if we were chasing a much less score, then you know you have to change your tactics accordingly. Personally, from my point of view, it wasn't any different. It wasn't another game. My own focus was totally on trying to ensure that, you know, we won, and the tactics at that point of time suggested and demanded that we put up our guys who, you know, were chasing 10, 11 and over is probably not my strength, and especially not at 41, 42, at 40 rather. So it's not my strength. So you know, we pushed the other guys up and we nearly pulled it off, you know, which was great. But yeah, for me personally, really, it's not. I mean, well, it's in some ways it's emotional, but it's not really. I think when I gave up Test cricket,
in
really.
Sachin Tendulkar's team, you will always be at number 3.
Yeah, I think when you give up Test cricket, I think that's really, you know, when you give up Test cricket, and then that's when the real, you know, that's when you really feel emotional about it. At least for me personally, this was really nice as well. But you know.
But would you say Brad Hodges' injury was really the difference between both the sides? He was a costly miss.
Look, I don't think you can look at one individual in a whole 2020 game. I thought, you know, they sort of played the last 5-6 overs of both the innings better than us, which are the critical parts of the game. I mean, they're an extremely strong side and got some really big power hitters, and got a lot of big match performers. And towards the last 5-6 overs of our bowling, we conceded too many runs, which made the target quite difficult. And then in our last 5-6 overs, you know, Harbhajan came and bowled a couple of really good overs, got 4 wickets, and that set us back. So in that sort of critical phase, you know, the last 5-6 overs of the game, we stayed in touch with them till then and were ahead at some stages. But in the last 5-6 overs, you know, they played better than us and deserved to win.
Rahul, I believe you gave an emotional speech in the dressing room post the game. Could you share bits of that with us? What did you tell them?
Well, you don't share what happens in a dressing room and in a time like that. But no, what I will say, I think it's, you know, I feel I was privileged to you know, lead the bunch of players that I led. And you know, work with the people around this franchise. The franchise has gone through a lot of ups and downs. There've been, you know, a lot of challenges, both on and off the field, and it was an emotional time for everyone. No one knew if we were going to, the same group was ever going to come back again together. And I think there was a feeling that we had created a pretty special environment within that group. And it was not just me who was emotional. There were a lot of young kids who you know, who came out and spoke as well. Paddy gave a lovely speech as well. So it was a pretty emotional time for us, because I think in that group there is a feeling, and we know that, you know, we had played above we had got the best out of ourselves, and we created a great environment. Something that I think everyone who's played in this Rajasthan Royals team for the last 2 years will definitely cherish.
Interesting, you mentioned about Paddy. Could you please tell us exactly what role he played in this phenomenal success of Rajasthan Royals?
I think Paddy's been very important. I was very keen to get Paddy on board when I captained the team, but he was at Pune, and then when that didn't work out, I got Paddy here because I'm a big believer in ensuring that you create the right environment that allows the people to grow, especially in an IPL scenario where there are senior players and junior players and foreign players and some experienced players, less experienced players. It's got to be a good synergy between all of them. You've got to ensure that there's a lot of communication happening, a lot of sharing of knowledge going on, which can be done with creating a good environment. And Paddy, apart from being a head coach, is pretty extremely good at that side of things. So there was so that was important for me to try and get someone who could help me in that area. And Paddy's been terrific for the group, and everyone's really enjoyed him around the group. But it's not only been Paddy. I think the success of creating an environment like that goes to a lot of people. It starts right up from the owners, the management, the management who work behind the scenes, the other coaching staff, Zubin and Monty, and who all make a big difference in doing that. And anyone who's been at the Royals will tell you that they've been very happy to play for the Royals and look forward to coming back and meeting up with everyone else, and that's all you can ask for as a
Rahul, you spoke about the interesting times the franchise went through earlier this year. You were probably in the middle of one of the best seasons after 2008. Then suddenly, that nightmarish arrests of May 16th. Were you, rudely woken up from the dream?
It was disappointing. It was disappointing for a lot of us that we had to go through that. But there are lessons to be learned from that. It's not an ideal thing, and it did feel bad because.
You said you felt cheated.
Well, in some ways, yes. I think everyone did because and while it's hard to, and I think there are a lot of cases going on and a lot's happening. So I don't want to comment specifically on those issues, but what I would say that it was an extremely challenging time for everyone in the franchise. And the way we've responded to that, I think, has been a great tribute to everyone involved and the values that we stand for.
Rahul, you've been a great ambassador of the game. Would you say that the cricket will be clean hereafter, or IPL has, left? It has done great things for Indian cricket, but it has also left scope for corruption.
Well, will it ever be clean again? I don't know. I mean, I think you'll have to be vigilant all the time. I think that's what this has taught us. I mean, this has taught us that you can never put your foot down, because the people who want to corrupt the game and the people who want to do these things are definitely not going away. So you're going to have to stay a lot more vigilant, a lot more sharper. I think every time an incident like this happens, there are lessons to be learned from it, and it's very clear that there are people who want to corrupt this game and who want to try and corrupt the minds of our young cricketers. And we've got to ensure through various means, whether it's education of players, whether it's working with the relevant authorities, police departments, to ensure that we do everything possible to keep this game clean. Over and above that, a lot of individuals also have to make choices. You can have as much policing as you want, but if individuals make the wrong choices, sometimes it's very, very hard.
Rahul, Gautam Gambhir tweeted this morning almost pleading for you to stay connected to cricket in some way or the other. Would you remain a loyal Royal?
Look, I've really enjoyed my time here. Like I said earlier, I've really enjoyed my 3 years here. I think I've just been so focused on this tournament and playing this tournament well. I'm sure at the end of this, I will sit down and have conversations with various people at the Royals and at and make a decision and see whether there is scope for me to come in and do something. You don't want to be coming in just for the sake of it and not being able to contribute. I think that's really important from my point of view to ensure that there is an environment in which I feel that I'm actually playing a significant part. Look, I've not had any of these conversations. The time will come for these conversations. The time's not now. The time now is for me to take a holiday.
Rahul, I have just 2 more questions. You said you've been inspired by many throughout your life, but one Praveen Tambe, who was an inspired choice for the Royals, came in, and he had an inspirational performance in this edition. Would you say you've been inspired by him?
A lot of people have been inspired by Praveen. I think it's such a great story, and it's a heartwarming story more than anything else. For me, it made me feel so glad because, I mean, Praveen is someone who's probably, and you can identify that because you see so many of the same people who play years and years of cricket in the clubs, in the Maidans. Praveen happens to be from Bombay. The story could be repeated in every city in India where people chug along, keep working hard, keep trying their best, never get the breaks, never get the opportunity. And they add so much to this game. I mean, for every Indian cricketer that comes up, there are so many cricketers like the Praveens of this world in various parts of India that play with them, that make the club cricket or league cricket, vibrant, which leads to test players. And to see someone like that to come straight out of club cricket and out of the Maidan cricket into an IPL platform and perform was for me a great heartwarming story, and also tells you why one of the good things about the IPL is this can only happen in a format like this where there are different franchises and you're not bound to playing only in that state. If you happen to be in Mumbai and there are other good leg spinners or spinners around in your career, you will never get an opportunity in that state and you can't go anywhere else. But the IPL gives you that opportunity in that platform because, you could be from Mumbai, you could play for Rajasthan, or you could play for Bangalore, or for anybody like you see. If you're good enough and you have the skills and somebody believes in you and backs you, you could do it. So it's a great story, but Praveen's got a lot of skill as well, and he's got a great attitude and a great mental fortitude as well that's helped him succeed. So it's not, I'm not saying that every 42-year-old will do it.
You think he might go on to play for India one day?
Look, I don't think we should overreach ourselves. I think it's important for him to focus on what he's doing. Definitely his performances in the last 5 or 6 games, have been terrific, and he's done really well, and something he can be really proud of. But there are a lot of good young spinners in India as well doing well. I mean, if you even as a leg spinner, you're going to have to compete with the likes of Amit Mishra, Piyush Chawla, who are pretty good themselves. So it's not easy, but who knows? I mean, who knows? Definitely his, I think his performances in this 2020 format were sensational.
Rahul, my last question. 21 months back when you retired, you said you were going to be hands-on dad. Yeah. Are you now a hands-on dad? Are you doing just that right now?
Well, I have spent a lot more time at home. I don't know if I'm that hands-on, but I have spent a lot more time at home, and I've really enjoyed it. I do travel. I mean, obviously the IPL and being involved with the Champions League and the franchise meant still keeping in touch with cricket and practicing a little bit. So I probably will not be doing that anymore. I'll play the odd maybe club match for my club in the 2nd division, few games in a year, just to go back and play some club cricket. But other than that, no. So I won't be practicing and playing every day. So I'll have to find ways to keep myself fit and really focus on the next phase of life.
Thank you very much, and
Thanks,
all the
Rita.
best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.